1896, a year that would forever change the course of Philippine history. As Andres Bonifacio and the Katipunan prepared to rise against Spanish rule, what economic conditions shaped the Philippines at this pivotal moment? Welcome to the Archipelago Times, and in this video, we're exploring the Philippine economy on the eve of the revolution. For over 3 centuries, Spain had controlled the Philippine archipelago, establishing economic structures that would profoundly shape Filipino society. By 1896, the Philippine economy had undergone significant transformation, yet remained deeply unequal, creating conditions that would help fuel revolutionary fire. The foundation of Spanish economic control began with the Manila-Acapulco Galleon Trade in 1565. For 250 years, these massive ships carried Chinese silks to Mexico and returned with Mexican silver, making Manila a commercial hub and attracting a large Chinese merchant community. But by 1896, this system was long gone. When Mexico gained independence in 1815, the galleon trade collapsed, forcing Spain to organize the Philippines administratively as part of the Spanish East Indies, under the direct authority of the Spanish crown in Madrid. In practice, however, governance remained fragmented, with strong influence from religious orders and colonial officials in Manila, far from Spain's central reach. The 19th century brought dramatic economic changes. In 1834, Spain abolished the Royal Company of the Philippines, formally recognizing free trade. Manila became an open port, welcoming traders from across Asia, Europe, and the Americas. The 1869 opening of the Suez Canal cut travel time between Europe and the Philippines in half, accelerating trade and bringing new ideas the colonial authorities found threatening. Agriculture dominated the Philippine economy of 1896. 3 export crops have become particularly vital: tobacco, abaca or Manila hemp, and sugar. These commodities were in high demand as Europe's Industrial Revolution created an insatiable appetite for raw materials. Commercial agriculture transformed the landscape and social structure. Alongside church estates and lands of the traditional nobility, arose haciendas owned by a new class of Chinese Filipino Mestizo entrepreneurs. By 1896, Philippine society had developed a rigid economic hierarchy. At the top are Spanish officials and clergy. Below them are the principalia or native nobility, and wealthy Chinese Filipino merchants. Next are a small but growing middle class of educated Filipinos called ilustrados. And at the bottom are the vast majority, peasant farmers and urban workers. This structure concentrated wealth in the hands of a tiny elite, while most Filipinos struggled under exploitative conditions. The late 19th century did bring some economic modernization. El Banco Español Filipino, established in 1851, became the first bank in the Philippines. By 1873, ports beyond Manila opened to foreign commerce, expanding trade opportunities. Yet these developments primarily benefited colonial powers and local elites. The Philippines functioned as both a source of raw materials and a captive market for manufactured goods, a classic colonial economic relationship. Economic grievances became powerful fuel for revolution. The Catholic Church and religious orders had amassed enormous wealth in land, often through questionable means. Taxation was unfair, land ownership disputes were common, and economic opportunities for native Filipinos remained severely limited. By the 1880s, sons of wealthy Filipinos studying in Europe were exposed to liberal ideas and nationalism. The propaganda movement emerged, calling for reforms. When Rizal, its most prominent voice, was executed in 1896, revolutionary sentiment exploded. The Katipunan, led by Andres Bonifacio, drew support from Filipinos frustrated with both political oppression and economic exploitation. The revolutionaries understood that true independence required not just political freedom, but economic transformation.